The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of notarystars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, onlinenotaries.public.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Well, hey there, notaries and signing agents from across the United States. Thank you so much for being here and welcome back to MGM. I am completely excited to be back on Mondays. Glad to see all your familiar faces in the gallery. MGM, also known as Monday General Mentorship, is brought to you by Notary Stars every Monday, except holidays, at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Today is Monday, June 3rd, 2024. If you are new here or just not quite sure who we are, Notary Stars is a notary and signing agent training platform. We train on just about everything under the sun. Notary basics, almost every type of loan file out there for loan signing agents. I think we're up to 32 files now. And we have the best marketing your business training and, of course, remote online notary training. For everything else that we don't train on personally, we try to bring in the best and the brightest trainers for the topics you're interested in. And oh, hey, if you haven't trained with us before and are curious about how our training looks and feels, we're hosting an open house training on July 13th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. This is where we will introduce you to one of our newest files, a Veterans Assumption Loan Package. All you need to do is register to join at this link. And I think Ronnie's already thrown it in the he's already thrown it in the chat for you. So grab that link and register for that training class. It's totally free for you. It's just to give you a little taste and feel about how we do things at Notary Stars. My name is Beth Hathoot, and I'm joined by my co-host, William Bumfrey, aka Mr. Bell, and Mr. Ronnie Mickle. We're all here to help you excel in your notary business. Tonight's session is all about you, the nationwide notary signing agents who are dedicated to signing agent excellence. After all, that's why you're here, isn't it? Because you're dedicated to perfecting your craft as a notary signing agent and learning more about our industry so you can not only be successful, but be an asset to anyone who hires you. Not an ass, an asset. Okay. To help make this session a little more successful, if you could, fire up those cameras, guys. We want to see your beautiful faces. And if you have questions or want to share something with your fellow notaries, no sweat. Just raise your virtual hand using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen, or if you prefer keyboard combinations, try Alt plus Y if you're on a PC, or Option plus Y if you're on Mac. One final thing here before we get started, keep your eye on the chat as the evening progresses, or in the description if you're watching this as a replay. We're going to be posting valuable links to other important information. So Mr. Ronnie Mickle, are you ready to kick us off tonight?
I am. First of all, guys, this might be a slightly longer session because we were off for 2 weeks. And I want to make sure that we get everybody's questions answered. So we might go over just a few minutes. There's a lot of things that we have to address tonight, and I want to get right into it. But I want to ask you, if you are not driving a car, we don't care if your kids are running around. We know that you're adults that own a business and you slide into third to get into these training sessions. But please turn on those cameras. It makes for good congregation when we come together like this and we can see each other's faces and we can see other people nodding and questioning and all of those things. It just makes a really great session. So if you could, please turn on those cameras. And if you're in your PJs, that's fine. If your hair's messed up, that's fine. I'll Photoshop you all to look wonderful when it goes on YouTube, okay? So don't worry about that. Now, the first thing that I want to address tonight, I'm going to get my announcements out of the way as quick as possible. The very first thing is I am shocked and honored at the same time. Before we left for the break that night, the news broke that we were actually nominated as the influencer. I was one of the influencers of the year. I have to say thank you for this, and I'm going to say it my way, and I'm going to post this in the chat. I never once on YouTube, or I did email the marketing students, asked to be nominated. We did ask the clients at Unlimited Ink to nominate us. Now I want to win it. And let me tell you why. Because we're a different breed over here at Notary Stars. And I don't mean us, myself, Beth, Travis, Bill, Glory, everybody that's behind the scenes. I mean you guys. You guys come here for quality education. You come here for the truth. You come here for no fluff. To be nominated in an influencer category when you're the guy that tells people the things that they don't want to hear, or the group, that's awesome. That tells me that there's a need for that. And so I'm going to drop it in the chat. If you, I think Miss Beth already did. Thank you, Miss Beth. We're kind of helping each other right here. It's teamwork here. If you could go to the chat, if you haven't voted yet, please consider casting your vote. It says for Ronnie Mickle, but I promise you, it's not for me. I will make sure that they understand the work that we do as a collective, all the presenters here, all the instructors here, all the notaries here on the Notary Star side. I will make sure that that is heard. And one thing that I promise you is that we will echo the words of Carol Ray. If I get a chance to speak, her name will get to live one more day. And that's a big thing for me, because we would not be here. And if you are new to this industry, it's okay if you don't know who Carol Ray is. Follow me, kids. We'll show you. She is the grandmother of all signing agents, the original notary trainer, the OG. She is no longer with us, but we will make sure that her name lives on. And I promise you for that. Okay. I'm going to move on to my next topic, getting real for a moment.
I want to make sure, though, really quickly, that everybody understands this is phase 2 of Influencer of the Year, NNA, right? So he already got the nomination. He's up there with 2 other candidates. This is the final vote. So even if you voted the first time back a couple of weeks ago, we're asking you to vote again, because now we're in the finals.
I want to move on to something kind of dramatic in our industry. Some of you may have heard about it already, and I see that we're getting up to peak viewers right now, so this is perfect time. There is a big Facebook post about ZigSig. You guys that know about it, it's one of the top platforms out there. There's ZigSig, Signing Order, and SnapDocs. You all know SnapDocs. I know Signing Order is the second. ZigSig is about the third. There's a big post out there that they're looking for the owner, all of these things. I can promise you they're not looking for the owner. Whoever posted that is not someone you should be following on social media. It's likes and follows these days. It's absolutely false. I picked up the phone, was able to call the owner myself today and get the story. And I'm going to read it as I wrote it, because you guys know I'm only good at speaking from the heart. I'm not good at speaking from notes. So I'm going to look at my screen here, read what I wrote. One important thing to note, there are notary groups over dramatizing something that currently is going on with ZigSig. People will really do anything for likes and comments these days. We've spoken with the owner and want you to know what we know. Zigzig.com was hacked or doxed by an extortion hacker. The personal information was never stored on the domain name ZigSig and on a different server. So basically, they only got the domain name. The owner is working with DHS Cyber Crimes to immediately remedy this issue and has not fled the country with everyone's money, which some have claimed. They have also launched a new domain name called myzigsig.com, which is kind of like a backup to keep everything up and running. And it looks exactly like ZigSig. However, you may need to re-register under this domain name, and we encourage you to do so. Please be careful where you get your information from others. And just so you know, if you're a notary on ZigSig or you had a file on there, it's not compromised. Just the domain name was compromised. Whoever posted this is, I'm just going to say it, trash. Trash. Absolute trash. Okay? They called and reported all these things because a domain name went down. The owner is being compliant and helping, and we have got to be careful where we get our information from. I woke up to lots of text from other notaries who are concerned and know that Adam's been on here to present at Notary Stars, and I want our community to know, not a bad guy, did flee the country. And I absolutely think it's horrendous that someone would post someone's personal phone number and their address where their wife and children live without having the facts. Okay? Horrible. So if you're a part of that group and you saw the post, that person is the problem, not Adam. Okay. And I got on that pretty quick this morning. I thought, oh, well, I'll send him a text and maybe I'll get it. He responded immediately. Okay, we'll move on from that topic because we got some announcements and we got tons of questions for you guys. Perfect time to say right now, if you brought a question for tonight or have something you want to contribute to the community, please get your hands raised, because as soon as I get through these announcements, we are going to get on with the night with all the questions that we've saved for the last 2 weeks, which is why we might go over a few minutes. So here are some announcements. We've got new training on Notary Stars. Okay, we have added in advanced healthcare directives and estate planning documents. Okay, we are not teaching you certified notary trust delivery agent that is a totally different thing. However, you do need to know the difference between advanced healthcare, what those documents consist of, and estate planning. So we now have created training to help you understand what those documents are. And if you want to incorporate them to your business and go to other training courses, perfectly fine. But you can get that basic understanding of what advanced healthcare directives and estate planning are. We're also adding in some information for you, like if you can't do a power of attorney via Ron, or if you can't do a will in your state, we are adding that into the training. So it's already launched. Miss Beth should be posting those links as I talk about this. We've also added a new buyer 1031 training file into Notary Stars. We have a MFG mobile home training file added into Notary Stars, and a buyer VA assumption into Notary Stars. Now, if you are curious about our training, we're actually going to do this free in public. All these videos that we're talking about right now, they're for members so that they can expand the products and services that they're able to offer their clients. The buyer VA assumption, we're doing that for free. And we posted that earlier. And if Miss Beth could drop that link in the chat as well, register, because I think when we first started, we had like 50 less viewers than we have right now. You can register and get that class for free on the buyer VA assumption. We're doing that on July the 13th at 11 a.m. It's a Saturday. We don't normally work Saturdays here, but we're going to offer that for free. If you ever want to know what training is like here at Notary Stars, it's a great day to learn. And then we also have seller VA assumption. So those are my announcements for classes that we've added. We're going to continue to add products and services that you need to know about, because what we know at Notary Stars is it's always that variation of the product that messes up the notary at the table. When you've never heard it before, when you've never seen it before, that's the hardest part. So we take all the loan files that are possible that could come across your desk so that you can be abreast about them before and have a training library to go back to when it pops up on your desk. I have even used my own training. I did a VA loan 3 years ago, totally forgot. Do I sign this or do I not sign this? Do I have to sign or sign this? Called Travis from the side of a mountain. He's like, you got the videos, look it up. And I was like, duh. So, you know, that's how this works. I do want to announce that we also now have a dedicated person for you to help you with your lanyards for ID purposes or for review purposes, business cards, and company resumes. And Miss Beth is copying and pasting that into the chat now. You know her as our latest instructor, Kirsten Bly, who is also here tonight and logged in. She's giving you a little wave. Kirsten's also one of my marketing students, as well as a Notary Star instructor. She's at every class I teach. I'm pretty sure she's going to take over the company one day. She's learning everything Beth has to teach, learning everything I have to teach. Maybe she's the next, you know, Ronnie and Beth combined. But she's now here to help you with your lanyards, your business.
We'll call her Bonnie.
Yeah. Your lanyards, your business cards, and company resumes, and at an affordable rate. So if you have a problem putting together a company resume, if you have a problem putting together business cards, if you have a problem creating one of those cool lanyards to get those reviews or use for ID purposes, Kirsten's there to help you, and we posted that in the chat. The next thing that I want to talk about tonight is we have a couple of pending updates that I want everybody to be aware of, and I'm going to actually share this very quickly. And this is why it's going to take a little bit longer, but I need you guys to see this. So we are moving towards searchable training modules. You may see it on the homepage right now as just the seller file. We are moving towards searchable training modules so that you are able to come back and say, I need to know how to do a buyer VA assumption, or I need to know how to do this. So you can type in a keyword or a specific document and come back and find it where it's at in the training at Notary Stars. It's been asked for, so I know you guys want it. It's going to take us probably until the middle of next quarter to get this done, but we have already started working on this project. You're going to see some things changing. We will announce it when it's ready and when it's time. The next thing that I want to share with you guys, and this is for the Notary Star level, and I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. There will be no questions over this tonight, but I'm going to show you guys what your profiles are going to evolve into. And again, this is for only the Notary Star and Notary Star Plus marketing levels. But we've done it. We've cracked the code. It's in development. I've already seen prototypes, and I'm going to show you a mock-up of what your new profiles are going to look like. Now, we launched about a month and a half ago the ability for you to put the button inside signing orders, ZigSig, SnapDocs to say, learn more about me at Notary Stars. And we did this for a specific reason. So I'm going to share my screen, and I want you guys to see what you're going to be able to do. And I cannot believe nobody else has done this, but we're gonna make sure that it gets done. So I just want to make sure, Miss Beth, you can see this mock-up here.
Yes.
Very clear. There's going to be, this is a mock-up, guys. This is not how it's going to actually look. It's going to look so much better. This is what we call a mock-up. So the notary's profile will always show their photo. We are now enhancing those buttons. But if you, it's going to carry your name. It's going to say Notary Public if you're not a Ron Notary. If you click the button that says I'm a Ron Notary, it's going to add an Ron Notary to it. It's going to pull from your primary city and state that you put in your profile. When you say I've been in business since, it's going to pull that right to the top. So it'll show how long you've been in business. We're going to enhance those call, email me. These will be visible if you enter the information into your profile. So visit my website or schedule online. We're moving those right to the top, right? We want those customers to call right away. In addition to this, we are adding the ability for you to add a video, not just embed a video, but actually add a video of yourself introducing yourself to customers. So you can film a video if you so choose to, bring it right up to the top of your profile. If you choose not to do a video, it will default to your company logo that you enter on Notary Stars. And if you don't enter a logo, it will default to our logo to kind of help your profile along. But I encourage you when this launches to add in a video. Your NNA verification will go straight up to the top, and it's going to say verify my NNA verification. You guys have already been entering in your signingagent.com links from the NNA. This is going to allow you to get your background check, all those things verified. Here's the cool part: cumulative review scoring, signing orders, ZigSig. This is for Google My Business, Yelp, Notary Stars. All of those reviews are going to be combined into a quality score from all the sites that you plug in. So whatever you plug in, it's going to take your cumulative review score. And if somebody's on SnapDocs and you have 0 orders, but you've done 500 on signing order, it's going to pull all that together for you. Okay, so you can get a cumulative score. Estimated total signings, same thing. It's going to pull from all those websites saying, this is how many, or it's going to say estimated total because it updates every 7 to 8 days to combine those numbers. So you're going to be able to get your total estimated signings in there. If you have fluent languages, it's going to default to English for everybody because everybody, I'm sorry, if you're following Notary Stars, you got to speak English because I speak English and fast at it, although it's Southern dialect. It's going to add any other languages to let people know. So it'll expand out to make sure that it's up there. All of this is going to come in. Now, all of these training courses and verifications that you're able to add into your profile, it's now going to show those logos for you right up under that section. It's going to take anything that you've entered that you can do and say, I can assist you with these things. It'll go in alphabetical order. Your business tools, mobile printer, mobile scanner, any ROM platforms that you enter are all going to be in there. Then the information that you enter about you, that long stuff that we do for SEO purposes, that's going to show. Then it's going to say verify my reviews on other listing sites. So your Google, your Yelp, Nextdoor, anywhere else that you have those reviews that it's getting that cumulative score, they can now go verify that you actually have those. If you enter social media, this section will appear and say, learn about me on other social media channels. And then all of your Notary Stars reviews, which do act as SEO for your listing, are going to come up. So this is like a major update to the website. It's in production right now, should be finished very soon. And I'm very, very excited about it. I'm actually so freaking excited about it, because this is going to allow someone who's on SnapDocs, who's never heard of you before, to click that button that you can grab from Notary Stars and learn about what you did for all the other customers on the other platforms, and somebody on signing order to learn the same thing. Okay, and it's time somebody bridges all these different ways that we get business together, because it's not fair if Nancy Fauché has done 600 signings in Florida on SnapDocs and 2-1 signing order, and people on signing order are going, I don't know this girl. Why would that happen? Now they have the ability to click through and see all that data. Okay, and that's what we want to turn Notary Stars into, is like a public resume. The last thing I think I want to mention for today, and I want to get into the questions for tonight, is we now have a new website coming, and I'm not going to say the name of it, but we've talked about how we partner with brilliant minds outside of the loan signing agent industry. And I wish I could tell you the name, but the site looks like crap right now, but I promise it's going to look wonderful.
Don't say it.
What's that? I won't. I know.
Don't say it.
Miss Beth has to retract me sometimes because I'm like, here's everything. Okay, so we have training for apostille, wedding officiant, fingerprinting, hospital and jail signings, and more coming for you guys on a new site. And it's going to be, and I won't say the name, let's just call it the next level of Notary Stars. What do you do after you've mastered loan signings? After you've gotten your bearings in this industry, after you've set up your business? That's going to be it. And it'll still have Notary Stars in the domain name, but it is coming. And one of the things that we'll be offering, and I want to tell you, I've thought long and hard about this. There will be a test available for Notary Stars. You can take it for free. Anybody that's taking it a la carte can purchase it, but we are come up with a master test of all tests, and it won't be a 60-question fluff test like the NNA that does not tell you. It will be a white glove certification test. Will be included part of the Notary Stars membership if you can take it a la carte. It will be the test of all tests, and don't expect an hour. Expect about 3 to 4 hours test. And it will also let your clients know your comprehension of this industry on various parts. That is coming. It's going to be a white glove certification. And here's the cool thing, it is verifiable. Okay. It's not just something that you wave around like, ooh, I'm white glove certified. It is verifiable. Okay. We will be providing the test information for this to people if they want to check what this is, what the comprehension levels are. It's going to be amazing. Okay, guys. So just hang tight for that in the next quarter. And then that's it. So Miss Beth, I think it's time we start with questions.
All righty. Let me see what we got here. Hey guys, if you have questions, I see a few things floating around in the chat, but listen, raise your hands, ask them publicly for us if you're not too shy to do that, because I'm sure there's someone else in the group who'd like to ask that same question as well, or know the answer. Well, Odetta has got her hand up right away, so I guess we can start with her. Go ahead and unmute, Odetta.
Okay, will the test be based on your state? Or is it going to just be a general notary test?
No, it's going to be a loan signing agent test.
Or loan signing agent
It's
test?
going to be based on this industry, which does not vary state to state.
Okay.
There may be some little variances for title producing states and attorney only states, but it's going to be for the loan signing agent.
Okay.
Okay, oh wow, Samson, go ahead. You go ahead and unmute and ask your question here.
So this, Ronnie, this new, first of all, good afternoon to everybody.
Hi.
Hope they had a nice weekend. This particular new website that you are launching, is it going to mask the old one you have? So it's
No,
basically replacing it?
no, it will not be masking. This is going to be, and I wish I could tell you the name because it would explain everything. It will be the
Just call it
next,
Ronnie.net.
no, it will be the next step after Notary Stars. It will be once you've mastered loan signings, all those other things like apostille, jail signings, all those things that you want to add into your notary business, they're going to be there waiting for you. We're really focused on the loan signing agent industry, although we bring in beautiful trainers from all over the country that you guys know and love. This is going to be a place to host advanced training on other products. So imagine you get to the stars, right? Now you want to go out of the galaxy. You want to go further with your business. So this is what this is going to be about.
Okay, awesome.
That next
Looking forward to
website.
that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All righty, VJ. Wow, VJ, how are ya? Oh,
He's muted.
Hi, guys. Can
there
hear
you
me?
go. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. Yeah, I have a question. The loan signing, instead of mobile, if I were to do that in bronze, if I were to bring a client, will the charge be different or is it the same? How does that work? Like general notary work, it's like a one pager, two pager, right? When it comes to loan signing, I mean, just the seller's pack would be like 5 notarization minimum, kind of like that.
What platform are you doing Ron on?
Blue Notary now, but I'm also looking into other notary database.
So every platform is going to be different on how they
Okay.
charge, and Bill can really speak to this. I know for a fact on Blue Notary that if you have, let's say you have a loan signing with like 12 notarizations, it's going to be best to put it in as a loan signing because it's only going to charge you $25. But let's say you're doing a seller package with only one notarization, I would actually put that in as a single notarization, not a loan signing, even though that's what a lot of notaries would classify that as in their books, because they're only going to charge you that single notarization fee. So, and Bill, I'll let you speak to this as well. We always have to get to know our platforms and know what we can kind of finagle out of them, right, Bill?
Yeah, you want to, sorry, are you asking though what you can charge versus?
No, it's like I'm trying to see if I were to get a direct contact from a title company, if I were to ask them to do the notarization in drawn rather than virtual notarization rather than in-person notarization.
Yeah. So like Ronnie said, you're going to want to pick your platform initially. Like if you're doing a flat rate one, like Blue Notary, Pactima is a flat rate one. There's different ones out there that will do a flat rate. Ideally, what you want to do at some point is you want to have enough business that you can have multiple platforms so that you can kind of bounce around and know, hey, I can do this cheaper over here, so I'm going to run it through this platform for this signing. And it's nice to have a backup in case something doesn't work as well on the specific one.
And I also another question, like if a say signing order comes from like a seller's package, like traditional mobile notary, but can you suggest them to come as a RON? Are we allowed to do that?
You can ask them, but you can't. You have to have the clearance of the escrow company, especially escrow. Other places are a little easier to work with, but you want to make sure. A lot of times they have issue like the seller files are usually not a problem, but the buyer files are the ones that are problems for a lot of them.
All right, thank you.
Righty, VJ. Miss Nancy, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. It's kind of a statement question in a way. This whole trust delivery documents and all that you're bringing to us, which I'm so very happy about. Is there going to be a way to help us find somebody to partner with I had somebody kind of through another place, and I've made appointments. I had a big group set up to do a Zoom with them so they could ask their questions and then get their paperwork in order. And they were going to send me all these flyers to give to them, to give them basic information to get started. And I sent reminder emails asking for it, and crickets. So I had to cancel it, obviously, because I can't answer any of those questions that they have.
So Nancy, this is a really great point, and this is something that's been brought to my attention by several notaries throughout the country. So we are going to have suggestions of companies, and we have a whole list of estate planning companies that we'll be releasing this month. We are not doing trust delivery agent, okay? We are explaining the difference between advanced healthcare directives and estate planning, which encompasses training, of course, but we are just explaining the difference between the documents, helping you point in the right direction. If you are working with an estate planning company, and keep in mind, you really have to only work with estate planning companies. You cannot work with attorneys other than just doing the notarizations. They can't pay you a commission to do this in any state. It's against the law. So if anybody believes that that's what they could do, it's actually against the law for an attorney to pay you a commission to bring them a client. It's a part of every state bar federally, all across the board. So can't do that. Estate planning companies, you know, you can look for them in your state. Some states allow document preparers, some don't. Some of them have to be done by attorneys. So that's something that you're going to have to research. We will start helping with the research. Can you do it in the state? Can you not do it in the state? But with all the projects that we have going on, just getting kind of some like corrective language out there to help people further their understanding of what they can do. Do I believe in trust signings? Absolutely. I think every notary needs to be comfortable with them, work with attorneys to do them, and estate planning firms, if that is what you choose to do. Absolutely. I think that you should be able to do them. But are we going to be bringing in partners for that? Not at this moment in time, but we do have some adjacent related training, not training, but partnerships that you can do along the same vein coming in. But you will need to look up estate planners. And I would say, here's two things I would give advice on. Number one, do they have an affiliate link? Are you able to track that your customer went to this person and filled out a form? Okay. And did they go through? And if they're not working with you, like you said, if they're not getting back to you, if they're not providing you the information, if they say they're going to do something and they don't, remember what they say: fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me. And that's the best way to say it. It's business. You can only give somebody so much time or so many chances in business before you have to look out for your own business.
Yeah, and I've stepped away, and I'm looking to work with somebody else to, help. I go to a moose lodge. There's a lot of elderly people that don't have their ducks in a row, and I want to be able to help them. So I'm looking for somebody to help me help them.
I would highly recommend starting out looking with estate planning firms that are not attorneys in your local area and as close as possible, so you can actually walk into that place and shake hands with someone and meet them and develop a relationship and work that way. I think that's going to work better than working from afar. And here's a little tip for everybody. If you're working for a company and you're selling it, go out and Google them and look at their reviews and see what happens. We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So currently, guys, on the website, all we have offered at this point in time is advanced healthcare directives. But if you're a member, what you'll find under that tab is 4 pieces of information for advanced healthcare directives. You're going to find 2 videos. One video is going to kind of walk you through what an advanced health directive is, and I'll give you the terminology, how it functions. And the second video then is the actual sample of a document, advanced healthcare directive, and it's for Texas. We chose Texas because everything is bigger in Texas, right? So Texas has the most number of documents that I could find out of all 50 states in their advanced healthcare directives. So we use that one to kind of give you a broader vision of what you might find in an advanced healthcare directive. What we also gave you was a section where you can access your state's healthcare directive documents. So every state's governor's office creates advanced healthcare directives specific to that state. All 50 states are on the website. You can click and go to that section of your own government's website and find all of those advanced healthcare directive documents there. Plus, there's another handout for a POST or a DNR, if you know what that is. That's a portable health care document and a do not resuscitate order, all morbid stuff, but it's another handout for you to show you how those things work. Okay. Miss Kimberly in Texas. Oh yeah, the state, bigger than anybody. If you want to unmute and ask your question, you can feel free.
Yeah, so mine's not really a question, but more of a statement. But it's kind of along those lines what Nancy was talking about and what Beth, what you were just talking about. I have done a little bit of research on advanced directives, and I have the unfortunate firsthand experience. I've lost both of my parents within the past 2 years, so I've had to do a lot of figuring all that stuff out on my own. So I want to commend you guys for adding that into your tools for us to use, because I feel like as the baby boomers are starting to flood the healthcare systems, it's hugely important for us as notaries to have that available and to be able to provide that service for people, because it's so incredibly important. My background is I was a medic on an ambulance for almost 7 years. So I mean, it's one of those things that you don't think about it until you need it. So, Nancy, I think that Ronnie gave you super sound advice by just getting out into the field and shaking hands with people. And I mean, there's no other way to do it than that. And I think it's just, it's going to benefit you to do that. But also I wanted to send a personal thank you to Ronnie, because I have been out of the loop for a little bit. There's been some issues with my, for whatever reason, I wasn't getting jobs through signing order, and he diligently fixed that for me after working on it for a while and had my first signing over the weekend. And I wanted to thank you guys, because I needed that refresher on the notary instructions. It was so great to be able to click on the link for the videos to go back into the training and just get a quick refresher. So thank you for putting that together and really helping us when we need that. So that's all. Just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you. And Miss Kimberly, I want to actually comment about the issue that you were having, because I had to do it with another notary today, and we've kind of gotten on with signing order about it. So it's very important, and we made a whole PSA last year. This wasn't Kimberly's exact problem, but your email address in your signing order profile has to match your email address in your NNA profile. If you don't, the signing services will filter you out if they check a button that says NNA certified. And it takes 9 days if you update that to come back and get you back into the problem. There was a problem that we brought to their attention, and Miss Kimberly, I'm pretty sure at the very beginning she thought, yeah, he's gonna say yes and then forget about me. And every week on Monday, I was like, I snooze those emails, and it comes back to me, and I was like, I got you. And there was one day that I followed up with her like 10 minutes before she wrote me, and she was like, wait, you just wrote me about this. And I got her on the phone. I was like, look, I'm getting this fixed. And I was on signing orders heels like a hound dog, and they were like, please stop. And I was like, you don't understand. These notaries need to work. And the one credential that they absolutely have to have is not showing up for all of them. And so they've been working on it, and we've gotten a lot of them fixed. And so I appreciate your patience in that, because it gave me a chance to show I won't give up on an issue that I know is right. So I appreciate you allowing me to show I will not give up. I'm like a little vigilante sometimes, and it gets me in trouble. in a lot of times, and there's been times where I've got my teeth knocked out and my eyes blacked because of things like that. But I don't like to give up when I know we're right. And we got yours fixed, and we've got another person's fixed, and we'll get them all fixed on that. Ms. Beth, I think we've got to start alternating between the questions that were sent in and the hands raised.
Definitely. Let's go to the first one. We've been off for 2 weeks, guys, so we've had a lot of questions come in on jot form. Thank you so much for submitting those. We're going to start alternating between raised hands in the gallery and those questions that we had sent in. The first one, Mr. Ronnie, appears to be for you. It says, as a new LSA or loan signing agent, it appears to be harder to get signings. I have been a notary for years, and I was a previous mortgage loan officer, so this is not completely all new to me. Is there a list of newbie companies or a better way to start getting jobs, as companies are mostly looking for those with years of experience?
So the answer is going to be, number one, if you're a previous mortgage loan officer, which Travis was, starting out with newbie companies is a great way to get started, but why would you want to? Travis went streamlined from out in the field from 2 orders to 100 orders a month to business partner here at Unlimited Inc. And that all happened in like a year. Okay, so you can really show your greatness if you're good at it. We have an entire list on Notary Stars with reviews, and we have the newbies, you know, the signing agents, the top 50 that you should sign up with first, and then everybody else. And we have over 1,000. I mean, literally almost 2,000 that you can sign up with. When I was out in the field, I made it a point that if I wasn't at a signing, if I wasn't marketing direct, that I was signing up with someone. That becomes a part of your business processes. So you have to put your name in everyone's hat, and eventually you will find your niche. And just when you think you found your niche or all the companies you want, get a few more, because people go out of business, people retire, people change offices. Sometimes signing services are busy. But honestly, if you have mortgage loan officer experience, try to go direct. If you already know these, you know, definitely brush up on the Notary Star skills, because we teach you customer service and what they're looking for, and to retrain your brain as a signing agent. But try to go direct. If you already have that strong background, you really want to go direct. And I don't want to hold you back from that by saying go to all these signing services. I would do the signing services, but you're really going to want to go direct if you have that background. Ms. Beth, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
If you're really confident in your skills. The one thing I will say, if you've been a loan officer for 6 months and you're breaking into the notary side of the business, I wouldn't say you have enough experience. Just my opinion. And I have to tell you that loan officers typically don't see those final documents at the table with all of the title documents. So there are going to be some things that a loan officer is not going to be familiar with. So I still encourage you to either go through those videos or come to live classes, at least initially, for sure.
Ms. Beth, we have one more on the form that I just have to make sure we get in tonight, because I think it's a really great question from the phone lines. And I know both of you and I addressed this one. Can I ask this one to you from the phone lines? And let's get this one out of the way.
Sure.
So it says, I know I'm not to notarize blank documents, and that this is a judgment call. I was wondering if you would notarize this warranty deed with the buyer forthcoming. I am uneasy about it. And they sent in a copy of it. I mentioned it to the signers, and they are aware and in agreement. They are aware and in agreement with the signing without the buyer being listed in the document. But I don't think they really understand the risk here. I am told this is how relocation documents go. Attorneys / realtors are from out of state, which is another, the attorneys and realtors are from out of state, which I have an issue with. What are your thoughts? I'm leaning toward refusing the signing, and would you agree?
Actually, I wouldn't agree, but I'm telling you, it's got to be on a case-by-case basis, because what they're telling you is true. Relocation services almost always work in advance of what's happening. I sold my house in Scottsdale 17 years ago to Sears Relocation Services, and that warranty deed is a conveyance document. So it only needs the seller's signature. the seller intends to sell his property. He's signing the rest of the documents. That property is kind of like REO property. That location service isn't owning it. They don't want to pay the taxes or the capital gains on that property just to hold it, you know, for 30 days and then move it to someone else in their system. They often do that. They will have the signer sign a conveyance document that doesn't yet have a known buyer on that. And that's a fiduciary responsibility that they have to keep that document safe until they can plug in a buyer's name. The fact that he's selling property, gets his money, the deal closes, he's not being hurt at all in that situation. So I'm going to tell you, it's always scary to notarize a document that has a blank in it. But in this particular case, when you're dealing with relocation services, this is common practice. Ronnie?
You know, here's the thing. I'm going to have to agree to disagree on this. I was the one on the phone line that said I wouldn't do it. And it's going to be a judgment call on you as a business owner to make the call if you want to do this. And I don't want to sound condescending. Unlimited Inc. is a millions of dollars company, right? Even if I was at, six figures just back in the day, it would be a high risk for me to risk what I'm making right now. But in the beginning of my career, I might have made a different choice. Before I got this whole business off the ground, I'd have a beer and drive home. I will not take a sip of a beer and drive a car now, or get into the car with anybody who has. We make different choices based on what we have to lose, right? I just feel that would be a high risk. Even though I know that would be fine, it would be a high risk client for me. And I don't think.
And that's an acknowledgement as well. If it was a jurat, which it's never a jurat on a conveyance document, but in the sense that you're looking at that, if it was a jurat, you absolutely couldn't do it for sure.
It would be a high risk for me personally, and I don't believe Travis and I would collectively agree to take on a client doing that. Yeah. But again, it's all based on your comfortability level and the relationships you have with those companies. You may want to have a little bit stronger of a relationship and make sure it's a very reputable company. And fill out the signer, see if they seem a little Sue happy. If they seem like, the kind of people that, something went wrong, they're going to be looking for somebody's errors and omissions insurance, you might not want to proceed.
Hand up in the gallery from Mr. Hal Klein. Hi, Hal.
Welcome back, Mr. Hal.
Hey. Hello. How are you? I was late. I had 2 closings tonight, so I'm sitting here doing paperwork. No, I came in and you guys were talking about that trust stuff, that thing that people are trying to do. Why not? If you want to make money doing the trust, just do something like Legal Shield, sell Legal Shield, and then they can call an attorney and get the attorney to do it. And then you don't have to worry about any kind of legal stuff,
There, I haven't looked into doing it that way, but I'm sure that there are, I'm sure there are ways to do it. I feel that, it's been kind of misinterpreted by many notaries of what's able to be done, or thought this was going to be something different that entered. And here's the thing, we've always been able to do estate planning. Now we're kind of being told we can sell estate planning, and that's true.
Well, see, I know what I know that company, that other group that's selling that. The thing is, if you are, you're getting a commission on the sale of this estate plan, and then they're saying you can come in and you can notarize it. In North Carolina, we can't do that. I can't notarize something that I'm profiting from.
I wouldn't.
You can't in any state.
Yeah, I wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole.
That's
Right,
the
and I'm
whole,
like, that's not, no.
But
You
can you
can't do that.
divide and say, I'll put it out there and then I won't notarize it? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that notaries
Right,
understand that they can work with estate planning companies. They're never going to get a commission from an attorney because that is absolutely illegal across the board in all 50 states. In fact,
right.
when I heard about this, I went to Unlimited Inc.'s estate planning companies that have been using it for a long time. I was like, can we sell it and we'll give you a commission? And they were like, ha 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 ha, no. Like they were like, absolutely not. It's totally illegal. And I was like, wow, enlighten me. And so, I do believe that it's viable. I'm working on a website right now for one of our notaries who are selling, My Life and Wishes, and they're selling the trust delivery, and they're using a different company than the one that's going, and they're going, and I believe in that. I just believe that you have to be very, very careful and walk the line of the law, to make sure that you don't cross any lines when you're doing it.
Hmm. Yeah, it just seems a little weird to me.
Yeah.
all righty.
So,
Is that it, Mr. Howe?
well, that's it. That's all I wanted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
One other question from our jot forms, and this one probably, well, there's one for you and one that we want to get to for Mr. Bill before he loses internet connectivity again. But this one for you, Mr. Ronnie, says, how do you transition from working for a company to working for your notary business? I need to hear a motivational story. Oh, that's going to be a long story. We're already pretty close to time out here.
Since we got it read, I had put hold on that one, but
Yeah.
I will I'll go ahead and answer this one very quickly because it is kind of like a long story and we really don't have time for a motivational story tonight. I always tell notaries when they're working that full-time job and they're set up and they've done their training and they're ready to go out in the field to make sure that they're signed up with SnapDocs, signing orders, ZigSig, all of those heavy hitters. Make sure that your phone is coming in, that you're at least responding to the SnapDocs so that they don't. And if you see enough orders to sustain you for a month, just take that amount and say that everyone was going to pay you $75. Don't shoot high, 125, whatever. Just say 75. If you see enough to replace your monthly paycheck, it is time to take a risk. Maybe save up a month and a half to 2 months because the payments get behind. If you see enough to replace your income, you can go for it. But you have to realize you may have to drive Uber and Lyft your first month or your first 2 months to kind of make supplemental income, and that's okay. I did it. I was doing this when Lyft first opened up, and it was a savior for me opening a business. So you may have to kind of do other things as well as do it, but when you're ready, and if you're not ready to take that leap, don't do it. I'm not going to push anybody off of a ledge, but if you see enough business to make that leap, go for it.
Second question. This is one for Mr. Bill. This one says, I am licensed to do remote signings, but have never attempted to do so. Do I need special software or can I work through a notary service who already has it set up?
So, if you haven't done one yet, I guess the first thing you're going to need to do is figure out where you're going with it. What kind of people are you going to work with? Are you going to work with loan signings and loan signing services? Are you going to go out and find your own clients? Depending on what those clients are looking for, is going to inform the platforms you're going to select. If you're going to get your own business, yes, you're going to have to go out and get your own platform. But if you're going to get business from certain signing services, they dictate you must use this platform or you must use that platform, and still others provide the business through the platform. So the first thing to do would be to kind of analyze where your work is going to come from, and then pick the platform you're going to use. And if you need help doing that, if you come to class on Friday afternoons, we can kind of talk about that in more detail because there's a lot of variables in there to take into consideration.
Perfect. Thank you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back. I'm sorry.
There's one question. I want to get to Paula Stoops, but there's one question for you in there that I think this is we got to get this in tonight, guys. We have so many wonderful questions. We're probably going to go over about 30 minutes tonight. Sorry, guys, but we were off for 2 weeks. This is a question that comes up, and it's really for you. It comes up so often at Unlimited Ink. So I know that this notary is asking a question that everybody wants to know. And this is your realm of the woods. It says, I will always check if it's not indicated about using blue or black ink, but in the long run, does it really matter? Would using blue or black when a company prefers one color or the other keep a loan from closing?
That's a really short answer. Yes. Absolutely. If they want blue ink, it has to be in blue. If they want black ink, you might get a stay of execution one time. And particularly if some circumstances are governing that file, like maybe the deed of trust is being filed electronically, MERS, rather than hand carried down. So if they say blue ink, they absolutely want blue ink. If they say black ink, they absolutely want black ink most of the time. If they don't say, I personally always default to blue. And the reason that I do is because blue ink, you can tell a copy from the original. Black ink is harder to tell a copy from the original. So I always default to blue when they don't specify what color. There are some states that the notary certificate must be completed in black ink. That's what your notary regulations state. But you might still have that request to have the signer sign everything in blue. So you just need to keep your eyes peeled and know what you're up against.
Thank you, Miss Beth. Paula has raised her hand, and I actually chatted with her earlier in the chat, asking her if she would bring this question, because you guys are going to be shocked as a signing service owner that I want to answer this question, and I hope you'll read it out as you wrote it, because I think it's a wonderful question, and I want to answer it truthfully and honestly and publicly. And I know it's not directed at me, but I want to make sure that we get this out on the table. So Miss Paula, could you unmute? And then Miss Beth, I want to come back to questions that are mostly addressed to you, because there was really great questions in there.
Hi, I'm gonna leave the video up high because I'm in my pajamas.
Okay.
So
You get an A for being a team player just for saying that. I love it.
so just the top of my head, everything else is okay. So my comment was, I've gotten frustrated with how long it takes to get paid. 30 to 45 days seems to be long enough for these loan signings because I'm a single lady, I'm over 65, and I don't have a lot of extra money to pay for my expenses. So what I decided to do, because my attitude is starting to show, is I'm taking off this month of June and just to work on my community, general notary work, and see if I can start getting more Ron online. So, so out of, I think I did 21 signings in April. As of June, today's the 3rd, I've gotten paid for 3. And I get concerned, like, did they forget me? Are they not going to pay me? And I do have an outstanding, I think it was a loan presentation from January, and I'm just assuming I'm not going to get that $100. So that's where I'm at with my loan signing business, and wanted to hear your comments.
Okay, first of all, I really love this question. Okay, and I'm going to make this as concise as possible so that we can move on and get to a lot of the great questions. But this is a really great question. So here we go. We always get our money. Okay, Notary Stars, we always get our money. There's a way to follow up with companies professionally, and there are things and actions that you can take. So I would love to work with you on the back end about that and tell you my tactics. When it comes to advertising, general notary work, and Ron, you definitely should be a part of the Notary Stars Plus marketing program, at least for 2 to 3 months. There's not a marketing student on here that will tell you you won't learn and be able to do things. I've got 70-plus-year-old men who are #1 on Google right now, above Google My Business, because they follow those tactics and they can do it and had no prior experience, make it very easy. So I'm all about learning to expand your services. I want to take it down to the frustration with signing services, because I know a lot of notaries feel this way. Unlimited Ink, we have a 45-day payout. We reserve the right for 60 to 90 days. I'm going to explain this because we do have, up to 120 something plus people on the call at one point tonight. When you work with signing services, I bill my clients from the 1st to the 30th. So if you work on the 1st and I invoice on the 30th, they still have 15 days to pay me. And if they pay within that 15 days, then I still have to have someone go through and parse out all those payments to notaries. Okay. Most signing services work with high volume clients. And if they're a large signing service like Unlimited Ink, I do 3,000 transactions a month. Okay. Plus, actually, now. And so we have to go through and collect from people. And some people forget to mail the payment because they're a smaller company. And then the high volumes do the way that they do with we have some clients that pay from the 1st to the 15th. But then let's just say the ones that pay faster, and then I have the ones that pay, within 45 days. If I give the payment for the ones that pay faster, then I have to do it for the ones that pay longer, and that puts the company in jeopardy. So we come up with a blanket policy that appeases everybody that pays from this date to this date, so that we can pay you on this date. And so you have to understand that, and this is how I did it. I also hated working for signing services, and now I'm one. Okay. I don't expect you to work for Unlimited Ink forever. I really don't want you to. I want you to go out and get direct business. I worked for Amrock. They pay within 2 weeks. I worked for Fidelity. They paid me as soon as it closed. And that was direct. I worked with other signing services that paid within 3 weeks. I worked with Notary Go, who pays if you can get them to pay on time. I worked with all of them, and I had checks coming in left and right. And so I get the frustration if you're only working with those who pay 45 to 60 to 90, but there are companies who pay less time. Amrock's a great company to try to get on with, and sometimes you have to beat down the door, and things are picking up. So get with companies that also pay quicker. Those are going to be generally smaller signing services. They're going to pay faster because they are churning it out. Larger companies are going to pay like we do. And we also have other reasons why we wait 45 days. If the loan closes and it goes through QC, which you guys know at the signing table, you tell the signers they have the right to review the file and come back with any errors. We have found that the notary won't go correct them if they've already been issued the check. And a lot of notaries are newer and won't go do it. And they think, oh, this is my moment to make more money. When we get on the same page about that, maybe things could get a little bit better. So I get the frustration. So I believe in diversity of how you get your money. I believe in diversity of products. I believe in diversity of services. I believe in a diversity of clients that you're working with. So I am on the same page with you, and I wanted to bring that question to the front because a lot of people might think that as being a signing agency owner that has a 45-day payout and not the highest rates in the country, I might be a little scared to answer this question, but I'm going to be the one that's being honest with you. I'll be the one that will walk up and tell you this to your face so that you can get your head around it, because you answered your own question when you posted that, when you said, I'm going to diversify now. I would love to help you do that because that was my first step before I became a signing service. And I would love to be a part of that journey for you, because I don't believe you should have to wait 45 days for every single client. You should have a few that you wait 45 days for, a few that you can wait 90 days for. But a lot of them should be the ones that you're getting paid right away for, or closer to right away. Unlimited Ink should just be filling in your calendar for your direct business, to be honest. And so should other signing services that you're not getting the full rate for. You should be going for direct business. Okay, we got to move on to other questions, and thank you for letting me get in and get that one in, Miss Beth. I know we have 2 hands raised in the gallery, but I want to get a couple of these answered that were wonderful questions that are really directed toward you. Can we get the Christopher question? Are you ready for that one, Miss Beth?
Sure.
All right, this one says, can you please explain the loans to one borrower form? It looks like it's asking if the borrower has any loans from the lender in this transaction. Why wouldn't the lender already know this? And then it says a redacted version. And there's a Google Drive link, but I don't know if that's meant for everybody. I'm going to click.
No.
Okay.
You know what? It's going to be a really quick, easy answer for Christopher. That loans to one borrower, and it's pretty much the same title. If it's in the package, that's the title of the document. And it's got a little couple of lines, areas in the center of the document that wants to know who you applied for the loan to, how much was the loan, and did you start any new credit with that company. What they're doing is they understand that the borrower may be shopping for a loan, that because they're signing a loan with XYZ mortgage company doesn't mean they don't still have some loan applications out there just hanging out. They want to know if the borrower is intending to close another loan simultaneously with this one. Because listen, if it's not credit, if it's not a closed loan, they can't see it on their credit report. Title can't see it as a lien on the property yet. Usually those documents also have a jurat attached to them. They are swearing or affirming they don't have any other outstanding loans or loans they're trying to close simultaneous to this one. So that's what it's for.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Beth. I'm going to just throw this out there because we've had so many people write in today alone. And I know you didn't see all of them. I'm just going to throw this out there because I got to get these questions cleared up for tonight. A lot of people have said, do you do Spanish training? Like, can you train us in Spanish? And the answer is not right now, but we are currently training a Spanish speaking instructor who will be coming this year. So if you are bilingual in Spanish, we've already chosen that person. They chose us, and we have a meeting tomorrow on it, and we've got things rolling. I cannot believe that 3 questions came in from 3 different avenues today.
Yeah.
Alone about Spanish speaking instruction. And I thought, I wonder if this instructor hired their friends to send these questions in. And I see them laughing right now. We won't see who it is right yet. But it is one of your fellow Notary Stars who's been impeccable at their business. So I just want to get that question off. If you are looking for Spanish speaking instruction, it is on its way, already underway. Some of you have already been reviewing the current training that we have for it. But in typical Notary Stars fashion, we got to do it our way. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I know we got 2 hands raised, but Miss Beth, we have one more question that I want to ask you. Then we can go back to gallery. I just want to get these in because they're great questions. It says, I had my first tax lien loan package signing last Friday, and I was so excited. I over-prepared for it and reached out to the NNA to make sure I was doing everything right. However, when I received the instructions from the loan package, one thing they wanted me to do was take a picture of the front and back of the client's IDs. I showed the client that per the instructions I needed to do this, and I reassured him that it would be deleted from my phone and that he was okay with it. He didn't have an issue, but I did. I didn't feel comfortable taking a photo. My question is, if I have to do this again, other than my phone, what other device could I use to submit the picture with this loan paperwork?
That's a really awesome question. First thing I'm going to say is never to use the camera alone on your phone. Reason is that gallery of photos on your phone doesn't just stay on your phone. They are automatically uploaded or backed up or stored elsewhere other than your phone. That means that it could be information that could be easily hacked or compromised. So never take a copy with the camera on your phone. You can use scanner apps on your phone, very minimal cost. Some of them are free. The one I like is TurboScan. And you can use those on your phone. When you take a picture with a scanning app, it actually stays in that application and never hits your gallery. So once you take that picture with that scan app, and then you can upload it directly from that scan app or print it out and upload it later, you delete it from that scan app, it is gone. There is no place that it accidentally gets stored to or moved to. So that's a safe option. The other option is, I'm going to tell you, is get a printer in your car. Take a copy of that ID, carry your little scanner into your signing appointment and scan it right there at the table. A lot of different options. Ronnie, what else?
One other option is for signing order in SnapDocs, you can actually go to your orders on your phone, click for the scan backs that you're going to do. If you click on it with an iPhone, I don't know about Android, but if you click on it with an iPhone, it's going to say take a photo. It's going to skip your gallery and only upload the photo that you are taking. So you can actually just take a photo and upload it to the order, and then don't close your order or say scan backs upload complete, and then it'll be hanging there. We have lots of notaries who use this method at Unlimited Ink Notary, where they take the photo with their phone, but it's not being saved to their phone. It's actually, when you click on it from your phone, if you're in your order, it'll actually say, do you want to upload a file? And that means you saved it to your phone, or do you want to take a photo? When you take that photo, it bypasses your gallery and goes right up to the platform. So that's another method.
That's really handy method.
Yeah. Everybody, we have probably about 15 minutes left. We're not going to push longer than that tonight, but we put some of these questions on hold. But Miss Beth, let's get these two gallery questions really quick. And I'm going to learn something tonight, and I'm gonna say this before I pronounce it. I'm gonna say Trang, but and I see her turning around going, that's me. But I wanted to make sure, is the G silent, or is it Trang? Is it Tran or Trang?
It's actually Trang.
Okay.
Trang. You got it the first time. Thank you.
Right.
I'm a new notary star, and I'm in California. I attended first live training today with Miss Beth, and I actually it was horrible. My Zoom would keep coming in and out, so I missed quite a bit. But I wrote down a few questions that I have. So one of them is, because the file was the buyer file with the power of attorney. And one of the question I have is, what do I do when the husband, Jack the Ripper, can't take an oath for his wife? What do I supposed to do in that case when I'm in California? I think I missed the part that you were explaining.
Well, we were talking about Jack signing on behalf of his wife with his power of attorney. So Mary Ann Ripper by Jack the Ripper, attorney in fact. And the certificate on that particular document was a jurat, or verification upon oath, right? Jack cannot take an oath for Mary Ann. So we can't complete a certificate for Mary Ann's signature at all, because she wasn't present in the room. So no oath can be administered, and that certificate can't be completed. Jack was also signing for himself. So we did complete a certificate for Jack and gave him an oath, but he could not swear for his wife. So we did not do a certificate for her. No certificate.
So in that situation, do I call the signing company and inform them that, or how does it work?
If you had seen that when you printed and prepped your documents before you went out to the signing, if you had seen that there was a jurat on a document where Jack signed for his wife, you may have thought about giving them a call prior to getting to the table and saying, hey, I've got a couple of jurats in here for Mary Ann, who's not present at the signing. Her signature is being applied by power of attorney from her husband. I can't complete a jurat for Jack for Mary Ann in this particular case. Do you want me to just ignore it, or do you want me to supply an acknowledgement? You could do an acknowledgement.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much. I think that's the main question, because I missed that section. So
yeah, that was
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. You're welcome. How about Marty Shelton? Did you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question? Oh, we can't hear you, Marty.
Allowing me to, there we go.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So when the venue information, state and county are in, say, page 1 of a 4-page document, and it's only on the page 1, but when it gets down to your notarial certificate area, it doesn't have that. Am I supposed to go complete that on page 1? Because I'm here sometimes don't touch anything on the document except for your notarial certificate. So I'd like to get that cleared up.
okay. So if you see a venue on page 1 of a 4-page document, that document likely is an affidavit, right? Sometimes that venue will default to where the property is, and it isn't necessarily where we are at the time of the signing. So, technically, let me put it this way, if it was a single page document, the venue could be at the top. If it's an affidavit, the affiant statement follows that. The rest of our certificate without a venue is below the signature for the affiant, and we can complete that. It's all on the same page. There's nothing in our state regulations that say that venue at the top of the page actually has to be at the top of where your certificate starts. We have something that's called a jurat with affiant statement, but it has to be a single page. Now that we're doing 4 pages, if page 1 venue is blank, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with where I am for the signing, only because I'm not leaving any blank spaces in my documents for a loan signing. If it's already filled in, but it's not, it's the property, the location of the property and not where I'm signing, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to consider that as being document portion. When I get to page 4 for my certificate, I'm going to add that venue right above where my certificate starts. That way, all of my state regulation compliance for a certificate is all in one nice, neat little package on page 4. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay. So just add it on there. Got it.
Yep,
Thanks,
you
Beth.
betcha.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, Miss Beth. I think that we probably need to start wrapping up for tonight, although we have a few questions left to start the job form next week. Guys, I do want you to save this link that I'm going to drop in the chat, and just remember, you can pre-ask your questions throughout the week. You don't have to wait. If you want them answered on Mondays, you can use this link that I'm dropping in the chat here. Go ahead and open that up in your browser and make sure that you know, throughout the week as they come to your mind or they come to your desk, enter those in. We'll respond to them if it's kind of something emergency like. We'll respond to them so that you get to them. If it's not an emergency, we'll bring them up on the session, and it gives us great content for your wonderful minds that join us every week. We're going to be here for a while. We don't have another break till December. So every Monday, please mark this on your calendar, this session that we do. This is absolutely free, and you can invite your notary friends to this session, okay? We do this to keep our ears to the ground about what's going on in the industry. We do this so that we can be better at our jobs. Every single person that's here, I know not everybody can make it every week, but every single person who's here, I know for a fact is dedicated to making their business the best that it can be, themselves the best that it can be. And I really appreciate you joining in with us. I'm going to put this in the chat and say this one last time, and then I'm going to give my goodbye and let Miss Beth take us out. I want to thank you for nominating Notary Stars for Influencer of the Year. It's a huge honor to be one of the 3 chosen. And I'm going to ask you to please vote for us, although you have to vote for me. I don't think I'm the most likable person, and I don't expect you to like me. But the organization itself is beautiful. And I promise you, this is not a vanity thing. I don't think that we're influencers. I think we're educators. And I think that if we get this, we get the opportunity to say, you don't have to dance on TikTok. You don't have to fabricate things. You can just tell the truth and just do education, and people will respond to that. I need you to get your family to rally behind this, and I promise you a couple of things that will be mentioned. Every single person that works here at Notary Stars will be mentioned. So you're not only nominating me. Unfortunately, you have to use one person. Every single person that works here will be mentioned. Every single presenter who has ever showed up at Notary Stars will be mentioned. And most importantly, the grandmother of all signing agents, Notary Carol Ray, who gave me my greatness at Unlimited Ink by providing me her notaries to hire and providing an outlet for advanced notary training. There's that video still out there and living and got thousands and thousands and thousands of views still to this day, where she introduced Notary Stars. I called her and asked permission to do this. And on her deathbed, I actually promised her I would take her kindness into the next generation. I will make sure her name is said. I will make sure Notary to Pro is said. And I will make sure that they know that we are only there because of her. So that's why we want your vote, because we want to make sure that we take that into the next generation.
Good idea.
And now I'm going to say it the way that I say it, and then I'll let Miss Beth take us home. If you are not naked and you are not stuffing your face with a sandwich at this very second, please turn on those cameras so we can see your face for just a moment. It's okay if you're in your pajamas. We want to see, this is like church on Sunday at the end where they say go around and shake someone's hand. Let's give our signature wave to everybody. Wave to those who are on the screen. Wave to those who are going to watch it. Just find out about us next week. Wave to your future self if you come back and watch this replay because you want to learn something. And then Miss Beth, how do we really say it here at Notary Stars?
The way we really, really say it is just to remind you that we're all in the same storm. We're just not all in the same boat. Some of us have yachts, some of us have canoes, and some of us are literally still dog paddling. Just be kind. Remember to reach over, grab the hand of that notary next to you, and bring them along with you. Show them the way. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening. Thanks so much for being here. It was so nice to see your faces again.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.